It's our Halloween episode.
Beautiful black hair. This was my natural color.
I think you're gonna like the look.
A unibrow. Oh my god.
What the hell is this guy? You're gonna get fired tonight.
You know the tie neck?
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
For real?
Yeah. You don't know how to tie
Do I do
tie?
this tie? Anyone here who wants to have fun, go to the circus. Because it's only about winning. Corto muso, baby. Can we negotiate maybe a salary extension?
I'll get you an extension, but I'll show you where the extension is gonna be.
Gaetano already won this before you even started.
I'm the one that won all your cups.
I gotta be very careful with this because I stapled this shit on.
Holy shit!
I am the best thing to come out of body, best player in the world. The only one better than me is Lionel Messi. That's why I named my son after him.
Oh, he got it just because of tonight. Let me tell you, Perugia, I made some great players. Materazzi, Zelias.
What is up, everybody, and welcome back to IFTV. It's tradition around here. Every single year we've been doing our Halloween episode, and this year is unlike any other because it's actually Halloween today, so we don't look crazy going dressed up like this. Or maybe some of us still look crazy. We're going to let everybody, first of all, guess in the comments who each of us are, and then we'll make everybody do an intro. So to my left, Antonio, how are you doing today?
To your left is Mike, not me.
I know, but
I am
left,
Antonio.
Far left.
he is Antonio.
Oh,
I don't know what you're talking about. That's Andrea. I don't know what's going on.
First, yeah. Yo, you getting
Unbelievable.
You be smoking something.
You guys are lucky I'm
crazy.
even here.
I took some of their cigars.
Oh, Antonio, why don't you go first?
You want me to go? I mean, it's pretty obvious who I am. Once I say I'm the best ever Italian player to ever play calcio, you should already
You
know.
don't look like Roberto Baggio.
He wasn't as good as me. And if I didn't eat all this Nutella, I still would have been the best. The only one better than me is Lionel Messi, and that's why I named my son after. Ronaldo keeps messaging me that I'm disrespecting him, but he should do a little less talking and more playing on the field, and maybe he'll be better. But,
Going straight
you know.
for it.
Casano, your problem, you didn't play for me. That was your problem. If you played for me, you would have won everything.
I only play in Serie A.
You
I
wait your
coached in Serie A.
You wait your turn.
And who are you?
You don't want to know. Is that my turn, by the way?
You can go if
Yes, okay. But by the way, you probably know who I am because I'm the most famous and the most rich, president in Italy.
That's
I
right.
just
You're very unique.
I put money down. Doesn't matter, win or lose.
That's right.
Nothing bothers me. I just got
I
so
like
much
the losing
money.
part. It's good.
You like the losing part?
I like the
I got
losing
so
part,
much
yes.
money. The only things that I'm not good at it is picking up
A coach like me.
picking up coaches. Okay, not
Hey,
like
we're,
you.
we're friends, though. We're friends.
Yeah, I don't know. We're talking about friends later. Okay, we have something to talk about it. Okay, a lot of rumors that I don't want to hear this swiveling around you. Okay,
Okay.
okay.
We'll leave that. We'll leave that.
We'll leave that.
Let's
for,
not talk about
we'll
that.
leave it for later. Go ahead.
Who's to my right? I have coaches. Some good, some not as good.
Well, if you're talking about good, here is the best. And then we got some losers here. So just for the people that they don't know, I won about 5 Scudetti. I won an Intercontinental Cup. I won a UEFA Champion. I won Super Cups. I won Coppa Italia. And I won the World Cup.
Any Champions League, by the way?
And I develop men and I develop players and characters.
Don't get any ideas when you hear this resume. We have a thing going, all right? I got all your money in my pocket.
Have you been to Real Madrid or
Keeping
no?
it all.
I've been in teams better than Real Madrid. I won the World Cup. That's the top.
The guy that won you the World Cup played for me.
Who?
Marco Materazzi.
Ooh.
He played for Perugia and scored 12 goals that year.
Not because of
From
you.
me.
Not because of you.
Just to get straightened out, okay? I develop coaches. My players became some of very good coaches, okay? And
Some, or all of them, or some of them?
not all of them became coaches or my players, but some of them became very good coaches and very smart coaches.
Any bad one?
And they took from me.
Any bad coaches?
And no.
Oh.
And do you know what I did to win the World Cup? How I won the World Cup? At night, I used to stay and smoke my cigar.
Well, one thing you didn't do is call up Antonio Cassano.
That's right.
That's for sure.
I was just about to make fun of you that this is the only thing you won in your career.
Yeah.
But I appreciate that.
What did you win in your career?
It doesn't matter what I've won and what I haven't won. All that matters is when people think of that Zuri and the best player, they think about me, Antonio Cassano.
I'm not gonna lie. Mike has a good outfit this year.
He looks like
He went-
this year,
he
bro.
went-
I wore a skirt last 2 years and I didn't win. Jeez.
We always do a voting on who's got the best dress. Even though you put on a full dress the last time and you were won the nada, you didn't win.
Right? You know how much time it just took me to make? I don't want to tell you guys how long this took to make.
That's too good. Yeah, we'll go back around.
Mother.
You're hearing, pal? We'll go back around as we talk about the rest of our Serie A matches. Peter Ukurt, you had a nice win this week. Now you're Peter.
Important.
You're not
win.
Cosme.
Important win. Get out of the character. No, it was an important win. To win 3-0 versus Sampdoria, I think is expected, but it's also in the manner in which you do so, and especially with a big week coming up. You know, forget about the Champions League game. That game, obviously, you're gonna play for pride, but we have Juventus coming up next week where we have to make sure that we're able to continue our streak of form, which is very important. So this game versus Sampdoria, it was an emotional one, obviously, because you had Dejan Stankovic, who was probably, is one of Inter's legends when it comes to the tripletta, right? So, important to see certain players stand up and really perform to where we expect them to be. And, Barella, the guy scored already 6 goals, I think, this year. That was I think equal to his highest scoring season in Cagliari with the goals that he scored already, and we're in game 12, right? So to see him take a commanding role in this team shows that he's matured and shows that this Inter team, although we might be picky or we pinpoint on Inzaghi, the team does play a good style of football. What we need to see better is Inzaghi's decision making on yellow cards and substitutions. But the team now looks well oiled, and this is a team that, without Brozovic, is winning. And this was a big problem last year. So
Barella's been unbelievable. I gotta say, when you watch him, I feel like he's matured this year. Last year and the year before, he gets a lot of stupid yellow cards. He wasn't always involved in matches. I don't know if it's just the need to become a leader with this Inter side, but something for me has clicked with him. The ball from Bastoni to Barella, I've seen it so many times, but every time you see it, his first touch, the finish, spectacular.
it was kind of reminiscent of the Juventus goal 2 years ago with Conte, right? Where Barella makes the run, Bastoni finds him, one touch shot.
Yeah, I think Inter are definitely more synchronized. They look more fluid. Well, albeit they were playing Sampdoria, who have been extremely poor this season, but they've had a string of good results. I'm excited to see against Bayern Munich tomorrow how well they're going to be playing. Even though they're both qualified, I think there's going to be a real test to see a powerhouse like Bayern. I want to see how Inter really take on to the field because how they played in the first leg. I just want to see them replicate something like that and play good and see if that can continue. Because I think Inzaghi's getting... I feel like a lot of the criticism has fallen from Inzaghi because he's been performing, and with some key players out, we heard about Lukaku, who's going to be out for a little bit. But the way they're performing, they're playing good. So far, so good from them, and I want to see this continue.
I don't expect much
With what?
against Bayern.
Why not?
Much.
I think it's
Because-
just pride.
Yeah,
But also Bayern maybe doesn't have...
You're in Munich. The amount of injuries that every team is getting every single day, we wake up and we see new players that are injured. I think you can't get in qualify for first place. You're not going to qualify for first place. You're going to Bayern. Even at home, they outplayed you. I'm not expecting a result in this game.
No?
No.
I don't expect a result. The only thing I can say is that Bayern's already qualified as well. They got first place. So we're going to maybe see some subs playing the games.
Should be from
So
both
you're
of
going to
you
be playing all
guys.
the rejects, you mean?
Not rejects, secondary guys. Like for me, this is a game that Gosens is got to come into and perform.
Well, he started the first game against them.
Yeah,
right?
but he didn't really have a
didn't play
great
good.
showing. He scored versus Barcelona, but I was thinking that after him, after he scored versus Barcelona, he was gonna get more time on the field.
What about
And you haven't seen
Aslani?
it.
Aslani, for me, this is a game
Aslani's
for
another
to
kid.
let Aslani
Yeah, this is
play.
another kid to come in.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think you play these guys, you make them feel part of this team that and then also gives them the chance to perform. There's no pressure. Win, lose, we're qualified as second place. Play your game.
Yeah.
Try something different, even. It's unfortunate that we don't have any real young guys coming up from the Primavera to like kind of plug them in. I think Juventus, even though they've been, not to go change topics.
You could learn from me. My
Yeah,
team.
I would learn from Allegri in the sense. Well, you guys have obviously the injuries. That's the reason why some of these young
I
guys are
developed
playing.
those talents.
That's why they're playing. But
So
they
how many,
came in
how
and
many,
they've
how
done
many
well.
subs you're gonna plug in? I mean, it's just the non-starters
No, it's
you're
not
gonna
really
plug in.
non-starters, but you can put in Acerbi.
Okay.
You can put in a
Acerbi's
Gosens.
been playing anyway.
Okay, but he's been rotating those guys.
Okay, Gosens.
Aslani,
Asllani.
Handanovic. I think Handanovic, you can play him in this game.
Bellanova.
Correa, you would have to, because I think Zeko's not 100%. But I would like to put somebody young in Primavera, but I think it's too much of a tall task.
Yeah.
Correa, Lautaro is probably
Gotta
going
find
to
the
start.
right balance.
Yeah.
So if you get slapped around with 3-4 goals or things like that, is still
Is that good for
the morale? Is that
morale?
good?
Maybe not. But I don't see these guys coming in and they're not of level. Gosens can play. Aslani can play. These guys are of level. Are they the better guys? Maybe not, but
You think Bayern is going to use the same approach to the game,
I
or
think
are
so.
they?
I think so.
I really think everyone right now, every team
Yeah.
is looking at minimizing risk whenever they can,
That's
because
true.
we've never seen the way that the Champions League is. It's great as a fan
Every
that
3
we see
days.
the teams playing
Yeah.
every single week. But when you see how many injuries all these guys are getting, especially with the World Cup coming up and the amount of games that need to be played before it's set, there's like a 2-week period left. So I think both sides will rotate, but forget about that. I don't. It's boring just to talk about that. For me, the thing about Inter is that their whole team was behind Inzaghi. When they needed to react and show that they believed in the coach, they reacted. When we asked for some leadership from players, Bastoni, Barella, Hakan Çalhanoğlu, who changed positions and is playing unbelievable and proves that they're not just relying on Brozovic. These sorts of Lautaro Martinez, who was going through a bad moment, scored.
Even
These
Dzeko.
sorts- Yeah.
taking Lukaku spot, he's still scoring.
These sorts of things, for me, it just shows the strength of Inter. And I know so many had already counted them out, and Lautaro already said we're out, whether it's mind games, whether it's not. For me, you will see this Inter. I still think that they'll go on and win the league, but you're 100% until the final match day going to see Inter present, because even in the tough moments, they're still there. They're still within question.
I want to spend 30 seconds on Barella. I've seen the last few goals that he scored. Man, the technical ability of this player is unbelievable. The runs that he makes, and maybe because Dzeko comes back and he creates that hole right there, and he knows when to run, and he knows the physical ability of this guy running back and forth. I would say right now there is the top 2 or 3 midfielders in Italy, and maybe the top 5-6 midfielders in Europe.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah, I mean,
If we're talking about right now,
he's so in form right now.
he
He's
does
doing
everything.
incredible.
He's an
Look,
engine and he's scoring goals. That was kind of like the thing with
true.
Barella. A lot of people said, "Oh, but he doesn't score goals." Now he's coming up in the big moments. He's showing maturity. He always seems to do the right things, and no matter what he does, he's not missing a step
A beat,
at the moment.
yeah.
And finally, I always liked Inter's midfield, but finally the balance is starting to restore. And whether Brozovic is back for the game against Juventus on Sunday or not, I still have confidence that, all right, the team's going to play either way.
Well, wait. You guys, I think, are riding a little waves that it's just because you have a couple of games, you won 2-3 games and things like that. I mean, first of all, Inter is not the top 3 still right now, is it? What's that, 5?
4th, 5th
Okay,
place,
4th,
tied
5th.
for
Well,
5th.
anyway. So, I mean, you guys
You're in
talking like
sixth.
this guy's already in, he said that he's going
because
to...
Roma
Yeah,
won.
you're
Roma
won.
tied.
So,
you're
I
tied
mean,
for
you're
fifth.
talking like you are the first 2 places. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
but the
just-
points are very, very.
Yeah, well, listen,
We're 2
listen.
points away from Milan.
It's okay. It's all right. but
Agnelli,
still-
where's Juventus then? Where's your team looking?
Hold on, we're gonna get to Juventus. Don't talk to my boss like that. He's a great man. He pays good money.
Great man.
You gotta make sure that he keeps paying me.
You hear this? He's brainwashing you. You gave him. He has an extra 2 years because of you.
What I wanted to say about Inter, but
Thank you.
Mkhitaryan also, the importance of having quality midfielders off the bench is the reason why Inter's playing so well right now within that midfield. Çalhanoğlu has been able to take that 6 role from Brozovic And instead of playing a Gagliardini, we're able to have quality in the midfield. So that way, this year, we're not losing anything if Brozovic is out or one of the midfielders have to leave.
Is there anything that Inter is doing bad? I mean, everything is great. Everything is this. Is there something that they do not so good?
I said within the recent games, we've been playing really well. We see certain players stand up.
No problem on defense. No problem on midfield. No problem.
What I think the problem is substitutions. I still say Inzaghi makes mistakes. I think even within the Fiorentina game, there were some question marks. And Fiorentina game, it's a hard team to play against, hard opponent, but we have to be able to minimize the goals against, because we let in way too many goals. And versus Sampdoria, 3-0, they did their job. So I have to say that Inter did what they were supposed to do.
Before we move on, let's just talk about Lukaku. Another injury to the same, I believe it's thigh, right? Thigh or hamstring?
Yeah, hamstring. He feels something.
So either left thigh or hamstring, I don't remember. He injured it again coming into their last match against Victoria Pilsen. And he seems like we're not going to see him until 2023 for Inter. Any remarks, thoughts that you have about this, Pete?
It's unfortunate because Lukaku was an added weapon for us. We have these handful of games left. Let's see what happens. Dzeko's been able to take his role, but obviously Lukaku's another beast. We saw the goal that he scored versus Victoria Pilsen.
As a sub.
I understand it's a weaker opponent, but his ability to, kind of post up the defender, there's very few players that can do that. He was able to post up, get that ball.
Yeah, but let's not exaggerate. The goal that he scored, the game was over already. Inter was up already. No. So the fact that he scored 1-2-0.
All right, but what I'm saying is the player himself adds something to this Inter team.
What do you think about them rushing him back? Like, why play him in that match when the game was already done and dusted? And
well, was it really rushing him back? I think he was ready. If he's on the bench, that means he was fit. So they gave him 10, 15 minutes. It was not like they gave him an hour worth of work. If the kid is ready, there's nothing you can really do.
But apparently he wasn't ready.
I read that it seemed like it was now looking back that it was a rush.
Maybe it was rush, but I think
try to get him minutes before Juventus game.
Yeah, but the thing is, if he's good for 10 minutes, right? It's not that he's not healthy. He should have been healthy, because if he's still feeling something,
he shouldn't have played.
They shouldn't play him.
No, I'm sure he didn't feel anything and in practice. But as a trainer, you have to know, hey, for this type of injury, maybe you should practice a couple of more times, because the practice and when you get inside the field is
two different things.
Two different things.
You don't think they know this though? Huh? I'm sure they know this. They have a whole team to.
Yeah, but it doesn't mean that team's good. Look at Juventus.
But
look at the amount of muscle injuries that Juventus has.
But if you have to question it, you have to question it if the guy got hurt again. And look at Juventus, like you said, there's too many. You have to question if the trainer and the people that do the exercises, they are.
It always comes down to probabilities and to the alternatives, because it's not like it's one or the other. Look at the example of Pogba. He could have done the surgery, which more likely you're not going to get as hurt coming back. He listened to the doctors who told him, yeah, you can not have to do it. You can rehab it. But guess what? When you do this rehab now in training, he pulls up and now he's injured for another 2 weeks. And you're not going to see him till 2023 for Juventus. And he's out of the World Cup. His agent came out today saying he's not going to the World Cup anymore. So that's one of those where, yeah, maybe you had doctors that said, okay, do the therapy, but was it the best decision? For me, I wasn't mad at Pogba at first. But now it's very strange what's happening with Juventus with injuries. I think it's 16 muscle injuries at this point.
Listen,
every player is going down like nothing. Whether I read Conte talking about preseason, and there's also Pintus, right, from Real Madrid, the trainer that he used to be at Inter, and they have this philosophy that a lot of those injuries can be avoided during preseason, depending on how you practice before the season starts. And they say if you start off on the wrong foot, then when you start playing, that's when you get the injuries. And I just think about also De Ligt, what he said when he went to Bayern Munich, and he said, my gosh, the intensity in these training sessions is so much higher than what I saw at Juventus. So I think at some point, yeah, you do have to question the guys that are in charge making those decisions.
I mean, I was at Real Madrid for so long. I didn't even warm up once or train. I didn't need to. I was just so good. Either you have it or you don't. That's it.
Listen, I'm into the car business too. Okay, I'm the president of Juventus, but it seems like
the car business.
Yeah,
Fiat,
it seems like that
Come
you
on,
guys
bro.
purchased some used cars that those used cars or leased cars that they were already
Leased
damaged.
cars.
They're getting
They
Fiat
were-
instead of
No,
Ferraris.
they're getting, once you
He
get a
owns
used
both.
car, you don't know what you're getting. Whether you're getting a lemon, sometimes you can get lucky. But look at Lukaku. Lukaku is one of those, car that was almost thrown into the cemetery of the
the
cars.
scrapyard.
So it was given for free as a free signing again back to Inter because they couldn't start the engine over there at Chelsea. Here, what you get? You got somebody that is damaged already. Damaged goods. So same
Listen.
thing with you guys.
You cannot talk about cars. Okay,
I am the
because
king
you
of
look
the
at your
car.
players. Look at your players. I think you got electrical cars,
I
which
blame-
now you paid much more.
But that's why I
and
blame
they're not performing.
But that's why I blame Arrivabene. He's the one that I took away from Ferrari to check on my cars.
It's Riva Bene's fault.
To
and
check
it's
on
the
my
injury's fault.
car, and the guy doesn't even know to evaluate my car. So I think he's going to be next online to get fired.
Okay.
All right, let's talk.
That I agree.
Let's talk about an incredible, an amazing, a beautiful win. Cortomuso 1-0 Juventus against Lecce. If I will say this, it's a masterclass from me because I know how to win games like this. It's all about the players that win at the end of the day. It's not the systems. You guys all talk. You guys always come here every weekend on this podcast and talk about this player's good, that player's not good, this system 4-3-3. No. At the end of the day, 11 players take the pitch, and it's the players who win. The coach, I'm there just to, I don't even like the training sessions. I'm just there to look good and to collect my money on the side.
Wow. Oh, you had them
Listen.
7th place, almost Conference League. Very good job, Max.
Did the season end?
Listen,
They're not.
Judge me in May. We had
but I
a
think
very
that-
good performance. We reacted. We got 3 points against Lecce. Look at the kid Fagioli that I threw into the game. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Look at the goal he scored.
Basta fagioli.
Alla Del
Contro
Piero. You know Del
Benfica.
Piero? Much better player than you were.
Yeah.
Much better player.
Nice guy, bro.
yeah, Max, you're a good coach, and I like
I know.
you.
I know.
because you're from Tuscany. I'm from Tuscany.
See?
So I like your paisano.
Can I borrow this?
No.
I need a contract extension.
First, you have to win, though. If you're a good coach, you have to win.
Oh, do you know how many Scudetti I won?
I win. On the World Cup, I played the 4-4-2. And when we were defending, I was defending with 4-4-1-1. And I had Totti coming back to play in defense. I won.
Yeah, because you had the players.
Now,
The players win.
now you have to win. In order to be at my level, you have to be able to win.
You were
And
lucky
you
with
need
the
trophies,
players, Lippi.
Okay?
Marcello.
And this guy's Sarri and company. You need to win something.
Hey,
trophies.
Marcello Mastroianni, even though I don't like you, I think I agree with you this time, okay?
No.
You should really be taking some lessons from Marcello, okay?
What was that?
Because there's a lot of rumors that they go besides soccer about you.
They're trying to
okay?
destabilize the locker
No,
room.
don't destabilize.
Boss, don't listen to the newspapers.
For you,
I'm sorry.
For
I'm
you,
interrupting.
I am not boss. For you, I am Signor Andrea.
Signor
okay?
Andrea, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Signor Andrea. But we're
So-
friends too.
No.
We go out on the weekends together.
Business is business, friends is friends. And lately, you're taking advantage of our friendship. Okay, I need results. This Fagioli stuff. Don't get a little bit ahead of yourself. Okay, because the next thing you know, the next loss, we're gonna see if we're gonna have Fagioli or if we're gonna have some minestrone. Okay,
But
so
Signor Andrea, I have no players. I don't have
You
anybody
have no
yet.
players?
I have nobody yet. So I have to develop the youths.
You've
Don't
been
you
given-
appreciate that?
no, you've been given the best players around.
But I wasn't
What?
there.
You were there because
I wasn't there.
Well, you didn't want to go. You didn't want to come.
So,
we
so
asked
the best
you.
players didn't
No,
go.
we
'cause I
asked you
wasn't
to
there.
come. You didn't want to come. You refused to come.
So none of the best players went there because I'm the best player.
Yeah, well, I wish I had you, but you didn't want to come.
All right, now Andrea Agnelli became Antonio
So listen to
Cicopalmi.
me. Listen to me. And all of those rumors about the rent, you're not paying rent. Yo, I had enough of this. I have people coming up to me and said, "Don't you pay this guy here?" I said, "Yes, I
you
do."
pay me.
Yeah, I paid
pay me
you.
good.
I said, "Why don't you pay the bills?"
Signor Andrea, I can't pay my rent either.
You better watch out.
Don't get any idea.
I want. I want those rumors to be quieted down, okay?
Okay. Yes,
You're
sir.
getting paid
Yes, sir.
plenty of money.
Yes, sir.
I don't want to just log into the Gazzetta and see that you are
The Gazzetta,
behind
they
the
hate
rent,
us.
that you refuse to pay the rent of your girlfriend. Enough is enough.
The Gazzetta, they
Right?
hate us.
It doesn't matter.
Senor Andrea, they don't like
Okay,
us.
you get paid. You said, don't you? People, they came up to me and said, hey, what is this? All of those rumors. I said, I'll call him. I'll call him.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay, so these rumors, they better disappear. So just do
Absolutely.
what you're supposed to do.
Absolutely.
Be a gentleman.
We'll do. Speaking of doing what you're supposed to do, Juventus barely beat Lecce. But, I mean, jokes aside, it was a beautiful goal from Fagioli, who...
That was a nice goal.
Why are you laughing?
No, I'm laughing at him. His face.
So you usually do that, right?
No, but what a technique from the kid, 21 years old. And for me, what I keep saying is so many players keep going down injured, players not performing. I would rather go down and lose with the young kids that you see some fight from, like Fagioli, like Miretti, like Sule, Ealing Jr. when he's available. These young guys that come off the bench and show some character, and you actually see some sparks of what the Juventus DNA should be. Not from some of these players that, for me, are overpaid and don't perform. They don't put on the performances.
I think there is some structural problem that is just always pointed to you the coach. How come that Betancourt, he leaves Juventus and he scores for Antonio Conte? Kulusescu does a great
They
job.
play in an easy league.
Listen. There is something that you don't know how to do. It's either you're not a good motivator or you are too caught up with your girlfriends, the fact that you're not paying the rent, and all of those things here. So what you have to do is just clean up your private life, and when you come to the field, you just concentrate on the team, because what you've been doing lately, it really stinks. And that miserable win against the Lecce, you got lucky that the ball hit the post. If that ball will have gone in, you will be talking a different game right now.
I think Lecce is a tough opposition. We've all come to realize that. I think they've
At home.
Yeah, at home they gave Inter a run for their money. You were at that game. They play well. They have some exciting young players. So it's a good team. It's not you say the team that came out from Serie B. It's a good team on the field. Obviously Juventus getting that win, massive right now, because in the end of the day, the 3 points is what really counts for Juventus to stay alive. We're not going to see any brilliance from Allegri's style of a game plan. Well, obviously, he's waiting for these guys to come back. It seems like every time they're supposed to, there's always something else that happens, or another player gets injured, or things get postponed. So it is a rough season. But I think what really is the problem is that Juventus from the top needs to look themselves in the mirror and say, this is what we need to do. Whether it's let's clean house, let's reform, and be able to create this Juventus identity from scratch, from what we want. You choose a handful of players, because there are players within the Juventus team that you can build from, and everybody else, time to go. I'm sorry, but a Di Maria signing, Pogba signing are great for the fans, and in the summertime, you're like, ooh, ah. But
not for future.
I don't know if that's the right move for the future. That's my one idea. Obviously, if they're healthy, they play amazing. So they do add to this Juventus team.
You're right.
But it's like, what is your identity? Look at, not to jump the gun, but Napoli. They got rid of 3 major players within that locker room.
There were 3 major problems, not players.
Okay.
Even
Koulibaly,
Two major.
Even
Insigne,
4.
Two major.
who else?
Fabian Ruiz. Osimhen. Ospina.
Like 5, you're right. 5 guys where they say, hey,
Adios.
time to go. This is the team that we want. Now, it's worked out perfectly for them.
So far,
Does it
yeah.
always work out that way? No. But Napoli, as a società, has made the decision. This is the way that we're gonna approach it, and this is what we're gonna be doing. This is our identity, and this is our vision. And with Juventus, I don't see a vision.
Doesn't have to be big picture, whatever you want.
No, really fast. I think with Juventus, you have the pressure that you have to come in the top 4. That's very, very important for them. So when you have somebody like Di Maria, you have somebody like Pogba, they're looking for the big names because they need to get in the top 4. the reason why he's putting this young, he's got no choice at this point. He is really, otherwise...
No. I've been scouting them for a long time.
Otherwise, you wouldn't have seen Fagioli in that game, and you wouldn't have seen Miretti, because right now he's got 10 players that are hurt, and he's forced to do that. Otherwise, the pressure is so much to get in the top 4 and to win for Allegri that he does not care how the game looks. The game looks terrible, boring. He doesn't care. He won 1-0. He's happy. He's got to get to the 4th place. Then at the end of the season, like he said, maybe they want to clean house and start all over again.
They're only 4 points below Milan.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But
they're not that. It seems like they're further away. Yes, the results in Champions League are really different. The performances are really different. And when I watch, because what was so crazy to me is we had this game on the Saturday, and you watch Napoli beat Sassuolo 4-0, and you enjoy, no matter what, even though the game wasn't close, but the way that they play is just fun. Like, you're always watching. Yeah. Then you go and you switch over because the next game was Lecce Juventus, and you're like falling asleep. Like, you need a coffee to stay awake because, my gosh, they struggle so much. And yes, Lecce, okay, they're good at home. They cause everybody problems, but you should not expect it to be every week, and you should not expect Lecce to have confidence to even be able to come away with a result against Juventus.
The thing of being only 4 points, yeah, it seems like that, but the way they're playing is not sustainable, and it was 10 rounds in only. I think the gap's only going to get bigger as it keeps going, especially when the young players are playing good, and this was pretty surprising because no one really expected this. And just like Marcello was saying before, when they start getting back now, we're gonna have to see them gel. We're gonna have to see Pogba play really good. There's gonna be a lot of pressure on them. We're gonna see we need Di Maria to start playing good for Juventus, and if they don't start playing good once they come in, I think it causes a big ruckus with them. And depending on the other competition in Serie A, I think it's gonna be very tough for Juventus to, in a short amount of time, gel together, have a good team, and have everyone healthy, and still compete for the top 4 when all the other teams, depending on how they will be playing.
I think they are begging to get into the
top 4
break. No. They're begging to get into this November break because when they come back, now if you got Pogba that's not going to the World Cup, you have the Chiesa that's going to come back. I mean, things can't get much worse than they are right now. And I think Allegri is good when he has the best team. When he has great players, he'll just be able to manage them, and then that's when they'll actually start winning games. Is it a good strategy? Absolutely not. But what I'm saying is that these next couple of games doesn't really matter how you're doing it, right? I mean, it does matter in the big picture, but at the moment, with the amount of players injured and where the season has already gone, he's not going to try to create a style.
I think Marcello had it right before when he says that you are forced to put Fagioli, you put Miretti, and you put all of those people inside.
He doesn't mute it.
It's
know who I am?
You got forced to use those players by default, okay? Because who do I have now left? I mean, this guy's injured. You have the fish on the bench. So
all right, let's move on.
You got Fagioli, you got Miretti, and by chance, this Fagioli, you might up scoring a beautiful goal for you. So
just to follow up, like the thing is with Juventus, yes, you get in 4th place. It seems like it's an okay season, and you can build off of it because you have the Champions League money. But this Juventus team is a team that's supposed to be fighting for Scudetto year in, year out. Just to say 4th place shows in itself that Juventus is missing their identity. For me.
I agree. Let's talk about Napoli since we just mentioned them. 4-0 against Sassuolo. The thing that's so impressive is they kill off games before they even start. I mean, 4 minutes in, Osimhen scores, and you think Sassuolo, they prepare all week. They prepare how long for this match? And then less than 5 minutes, you're already down a goal against the best team in Serie A, against a team that scores goals at will. So much fun. Just the way that they take spaces, we become repetitive every week if we just keep on repeating it and saying it. But they play spectacular football. It's fun to watch. And 4-0, Osimhen, a hat trick. A guy that he had to sit on the bench when it was his time, but when he plays, he does amazing. Kvara, 8 goals and 8 assists in all competitions since the start. Do we have any new words for this Napoli side?
I keep thinking every week, okay, Napoli can't do this again. They can't do it. But these guys keep proving, not just me wrong, a lot of people, how they just steamroll past everyone. For a lot of these guys, they had one bad match last week, but they still ended up winning it. But these guys play such an attractive and fun style. Anyone could score. You don't depend on one player to score. Goals come from everywhere. They play great football, a lot of good triangles, crosses. They do literally everything. And they're doing it in Europe. They're doing it in Serie A. And I don't think this train's going to slow down, and I don't want it to, because Spalletti, all the praise to him. He's a real coach, unlike someone else at this table, a couple others at this table. This should be taking some notes.
Listen, I just hope that the World Cup cannot start any sooner, because I think that the Napoli is kind of a scaring. Initially it was okay the first few games, and now it's game after game after game after game. They keep winning, but now winning miserably like Juventus does with Lecce. But those people, they put 3-4 goals every game. So I said, at some point something is going to give in. And I just cannot wait for the World Cup to start and maybe have this momentum. Not that I wish Napoli anything bad. Don't get me wrong. I mean, when Juventus, I'm not Agnelli right now. When Juventus doesn't do well or Inter doesn't do well, it kind of makes me a little bit not happy, but I like those news.
Not happy, but happy.
You should hire Spalletti.
Yeah, but this is like I cannot believe that this magic with Napoli, it's just he appeared from nothing. It's like San Gennaro he came down and I said, hey, this is the team, this is who you play, no money, no problem, just get those guys and you're going to be in first place. And that's what they are right now, and they deserve it.
Yeah, they deserve it. The way that they play, I mean, anybody can sit down and watch that game and just be in complete awe. And you hear it from, whether it be the Champions League guys on Paramount, right, when they're talking about Napoli and how they play, to us who we're so used to now watching Serie A week in, week out, and watching this Napoli team be this spectacular team. Literally from the attack to the goalkeeper, they have so many players that have been able to fill roles and taken a big step forward. I mean, Mario Rui looks like a
new player,
a left fullback, like Roberto Carlos, going up and down, making these crosses, getting the assists. He took a wild shot with his right foot. It's the post. Like, unbelievable what we've been able to see with this Napoli team. And to a certain extent, I agree with what Antonio's saying is it's kind of unfortunate for them that the World Cup is going to happen in November, because let's not forget, with Lazio, I would say pre-COVID, when COVID happened, they were on fire, and then they kind of lost the momentum.
They were singing we're going to be champions at their Christmas party.
And they weren't able to catch that fire back again. So with this Napoli team, not necessarily going to say that, oh, that's it, this is all just because they have a little luck. There's obviously a lot more, because we see the different ways that they win and the different players that are on the field. But right now they're feeling hot. Right now you're feeling good. Let's see when something happens, or 2 months down the line, now in January, where you haven't played in a while and you have to kickstart again and get that momentum again.
I have pushback to that. Most of the Napoli players, and I was with Ludo when we played on Sunday morning, I brought this up to him. Most of the Napoli players are not going to the World Cup. When you look at the roster,
the starters,
you see Chucky Lozano, right? He'll go for Mexico.
Rui.
Who else is going to go? Mario Rui. If he gets called up, he'll go. But besides that, when you look at the team, Quada's not going to go. Simeone most likely is not going to go. Raspadori is not going. Osimhen is not going. Lobotka is not going. Anguissa is not going. Zielinski will be going. Meret's not going. Kim is not going. Rahmani
Kim's going. They're in the World Cup.
Kim is going?
Yeah.
Okay. Kim's going. Di Lorenzo's not going. So most of their team, compared to a lot of the Serie A, other Serie A guys who have a lot of international players that are there, they're going to be able to work for that month and a half. They're going to be able to gel even more together than anything else.
Like
they're not going to be coming back with a lot of injuries like we'll probably see at the World Cup, because it's so intense. So it could also work out, and not that things can get much better than right now, but I don't think we'll see as much of a dip off as people think.
But the thing is, even if they're going to be all there in Napoli training, like Gaetano said, it's one thing to train and it's one thing to play a real game. So if you don't have, it's not like they can just play this game. They can play a friendly game maybe, but it's not the same. So I just think that the momentum is definitely going to shift a little bit. Not to say that they're not going to be able to pick up right where they started and keep on winning. But also from what we've seen in every season, it's nearly impossible to win every game. So there's going to be a hiccup, and it's going to be from there where we see this Napoli, where they can go.
From one great coach, Marcello.
The best medicine is confidence, and this Napoli team is playing with confidence. I mean, I see Mario Rui looks like Pirlo. He makes all of a sudden this 30, 40 meters of pass and right on the money. And being a player myself, when you're confident, everything that you do works out. And you also now all of a sudden take chances, things that maybe you haven't never done, and now you feel like, hey, I could do this because I scored the goal, I did the assist, and it's a different feeling. And this is what Napoli's doing right now.
You were a great coach. Spalletti is oftentimes talked about as, he's never won anything besides in Russia, but he's also reinvented himself, because we know the Spalletti that was at Roma. We remember the style. We've never seen this. He even said this might be the best group of players. What do you think about Spalletti, his influence on this team, and just him in general? Is he a coach that's always been underrated in your opinion?
Well, Spalletti, I think from the past, he is a great coach to get you to the Champions League and to get you to the top 4, but then to win the whole thing, he's never done it. I am rooting for him to do it, because that will put him in my category, winning.
But push back to that. Now, do you think he ever had the team to win?
Yes.
At Inter, for example.
I think he has had some teams that.
Do you have an example? Like Inter, when he got Inter to the top 4, first time that they got back
time
into
he could
Champions
have
League.
won.
No way.
The Campionato.
Yeah.
I think he could have. I think he had the team to win the
Yes, he did.
Campionato.
No, he didn't.
He did.
That wasn't a Scudetto winning team.
I think the players were maybe good enough, and till January, I think we were amazing. We were on a streak. Like we should have, maybe if we would have continued to win, have the opportunity to win. But I think that Inter team for so long that they didn't win since 2010 was a very hard feat for any coach. And then obviously
Napoli hasn't won since 1990.
No, but you're talking about, did he have a team to win? I'm saying that the player-wise, there were some good players on that Inter team, but that team psychologically had a lot of issues, and then obviously with Icardi and all the other problems, Nainggolan and these other guys in the locker room created that hardship. I think with the Roma team, he actually had more of a chance to do something. He just was unfortunate that Inter had the team that they had. When they won 5 straight Scudetti.
I think you're giving too much credit to Spalletti.
Oh, I think he deserves credit.
I
think he deserves credit.
I think Spalletti, he reinvented himself. He didn't invent anything. He found himself with a bunch of gold.
Come on.
He found himself all of a sudden with a bunch of gold nuggets on his hands that he didn't even know that they were gold, and he plugged them into the team because he lost Koulibaly and he found himself with Kim. Who the hell is Kim? Nobody heard about this Kim before. So Kim, he got plugged in over there. Boom, golden nuggets, perfect position.
But his job is not to find no.
That's
his job is not to find the players. The guy Giuntoli went after and they did an amazing job scouting.
His is to win.
Spalletti still needs to implement
Why
the
didn't
team.
you get it? Why didn't Juventus get
That's
some
a
of those?
scouting problem.
yourself that.
That's a
Ask yourself
scouting
that.
problem.
One second. Kvara was another unknown. It's another nugget that they find themselves into the head. They plug it in, boom.
No.
Big dividends.
That's not how it
so
works.
it's not Spalletti. Spalletti did ask for those players.
The coach job is to put the right players
On
in
the
the
field.
right in the right position, and I think that he has done that. I mean, Kvara, I don't know where he played in Georgia. I don't know what position he played in Georgia, but he's got him playing in the best position. And now all of a sudden, where I say confidence, now all of a sudden I see him on the right side. The whole time he's been on the left side doing everything magic and scoring and dribbling. Now all of a sudden I see him also on the right side. So he's putting the right players in the right position. That you have to give him credit for.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
and they playing really good. Now he has to do this until the end of the season, because if in January they don't do the same thing, that's a reflection on Spalletti.
So for the team though, as a whole, I think that the notion that he hasn't won, it's like people go through experiences that help them learn along the way. So the fact that he didn't win in Inter, didn't win at Roma, I mean, I don't hold what he did years ago on him, because the team is not the same. Yeah. The players are not the same. You go through experiences that change you. You change your approach. When you lose before, you lose a lot. You learn a lot more from losing than you do even winning. So that's the one thing that I'll say is like, I wouldn't go there and saying, oh, he's never won anything before. Allegri's won a lot. And sorry, no, I shouldn't make fun of myself. I got confused for a second. But no, being real.
Could you fire him already?
But it
He
deserves to be
basically said
fired
it.
before.
He basically said it himself.
told
But listen, some guys are born winners. Obviously, we know it depends on the players. If you don't have the players to win, you could be
There we go.
a most amazing coach. If you can't compete, pound for pound, it's going to be hard for you to win anything. We have a perfect example, right? I guess with Pioli last year, never won anything.
Yes.
And he's been able to take this Milan
Great
team
call.
to great heights. Spalletti, I think, has learned a lot along the way. He has a massive amount of experience. I mean, even I remember the Udinese team that he coached with the Pizarro. He was always a good coach. He always implemented different systems. He was oftentimes a reinventor of the wheel, in the sense where, the falso nueve with Totti playing that role with Roma, had that Roma team playing in a fantastic style. And now we see it again with Napoli, where he's been able to plug in different players in different positions. I mean, there's nobody more different than Osimhen and Raspadori, and they can both play the number 9 under Spalletti, and the team still plays a great style of football. I mean, even, Marco, I think you guys said it when you guys were talking about the Napoli Roma game, right? When Osimhen went on to score. And it took courage or whatever. He saw something that he left Osimhen in that whole game, instead of what everybody probably would have thought was going to happen.
Understanding
take
of
him
your
out
player.
to put in another player. You might not see it as something that he thought.
too much circumstantial.
No, I don't think so. I think as the number 9, it would have been an easy switch to put Raspadori in for Osimhen, and he didn't do it. So he had to have thought of something else.
So let's move on. You got a final thought?
No, just a final thought. You have to be able to create a group, and sometimes in the World Cup we didn't have the best players in the world, but we really created a group that stayed together. Everybody supported each other, and sometimes that's what makes you. So as a coach, you have to recognize that too.
Last thing I'll say is everyone calls you a loser until you win once, and then you're a winner forever. Everyone was saying all last year, Pioli's a loser. He's only won manager of the month. He wins once. Guess what? Nobody calls him a loser
With
anymore.
Ranieri, what was his nickname before he won the Prem?
The Tinkerman.
Because he never won.
Let's move on. We still got a little bit to cover. Milan lost. Actually, you were supposed to make the coffees today, but we'll give you the day off since you're in your Halloween costume.
That was embarrassing.
2-1 loss against Torino. We watched the game together. You went down 2-0 at first, and then a Junior Messias goal, which, by the way, should not have counted. We'll get into that after. Got you back into it. Though my thought going into this was, when you go down to Torino, they're almost impossible to break out. They're the worst team that you could go down a goal to. And I actually saw, when I was thinking that, and I checked, they haven't lost a game since when they take the lead in Serie A this season, because they will foul you. They will make the game dirty. They are okay with, doing the little dark arts, the ball goes out, waste some time. They are smart at it. And guess what? They're good at it. All the players are compact. They have some physical guys in the back and in the midfield. They compact with the 5 that play there. And they're difficult to break down. And your Milan were not able to.
And they were throwing balls on the field also.
Let me just say something, okay? All right. First of all, I had nothing but admiration for Juric, for the intensity of the game. Don't start me.
Now you hate him.
So I really can't stand him. He is a despicable coach, and I'll tell you the reasons why. The game is a dirty game. You put the game into physicality, into wasting time. If you check the downtime on the game, it was about half an hour that the game was not played.
Where are you getting these stats
Half an
from?
hour.
Try me. There were half an hour of ball that they were inactive, whether it was a throw-in, was an inbound from the goal
Antonio's
kick.
opinions do not reflect the rest of ours.
All right, that's fine.
30
But
minutes.
Dirty playing, and then a despicable display of soccer.
Have you seen your team?
But it's not. I'm not getting an excuse. It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse. It's not an excuse for just saying that AC Milan should have won the game. Leao, unfortunately, made a huge mistake. This kid here, as I
Two
said,
huge mistakes.
He's getting too much ahead of himself. All of those rumors swirling about AC Milan resigning for a big contract is all of those rumors that Chelsea's on him, that Manchester City is on him, that Real Madrid is on him. this is getting the kid a little bit confused and he's getting a little bit ahead of himself. And I think Pioli did the right thing to sub him. And I'm going to go even further ahead. If this kid here starting to be an on and off on a switch situation, a good game, another not so good game, I will just give up on him. Sell him now, get $100 million or $120 million, as much as you can.
Well, if the guy's not good, they're going to still sell for 120.
Sell him now. Just put them on notice. I said, hey, you are here to win and to play and to concentrate. I do not like the lapses that this kid here had. Marco kept saying that Leao was the best player in Serie A, and I kept saying he's not, and it's Magnan that was the best player for AC Milan.
With you,
so
surprisingly.
Leao is a streaky guy. He's young. We're gonna give him time, but he has
Look
to
what
learn.
happens when Leao's not on his game. You guys don't win. So
Wait a
take
moment.
a guess who your best player is.
Who's Magnan? It's Magnan. That is not there.
You
You were
love
winning
giving
games
Magnan,
with,
if Magnan would have been the goalkeeper, it would have been a different game. So anyway, no excuses. A loss is a loss. We're not trying to blame it. We're not trying to take to push the blame somewhere else. Pioli made his own mistake because Pioli, on my judgment, he already starting the game with Torino, not starting some of the usual player because he had his mind on the
Champions
Wednesday's
League.
game. So
You gotta qualify.
that's his fault over there, and he's trying to make up for his mistake on the second half. He didn't have enough juice and he didn't have enough time to close the game down. At Torino, they did all they possibly could to just make the game dirty and disgusting.
Nothing against them for doing that.
Yeah.
The one thing I'll say, let's just stay on the Leao topic just for a minute. I 100% don't agree about selling him, but I do agree that the one problem, the critique of Leao is that he'll have games where he plays 10 out of 10. Like, unbelievable, unplayable. There's no defenders. You put 4 defenders, he'll dribble past all of them. And then his low games are really low. He doesn't have like a 6, a 6.5. No, they're usually like 4s.
yeah.
He's like
4s or
very
9s.
hot or cold.
Yeah.
He doesn't have like a game where you're like, all right, he was pretty good. Like, all right, wasn't like Kvara against Roma is a good example. Kvara against Roma wasn't great. He wasn't the same Kvara.
They
But he was
liked him
still
up.
really good. He didn't do anything wrong. The team was able to win. I think that's the one thing Leao needs to work on, and that'll come with maturity. He's got the skill. He's got the development. I would just like to see him consistently try to play. Like, you don't always have to be the guy, but then at the same time, I mean, he missed simple one. The ball from Brahim Diaz to him, where he hits it with his right foot. That's simple stuff that you wish that he wouldn't make the mistake of. But to go a little bit deeper, Origi starts, and for me, Origi, we haven't seen anything from him. I think that he could potentially be a good sub player, a person to come into a game. But when he starts a match, for me, you can't just rely on Giroud all the time. You still don't have that striker or that player in the attack that is the next level, in my opinion.
Okay, for this one, I get the anger and frustration of both sides, but any other game, Milan would have been up 2-0 in the first 10-15 minutes. And, and they got, if you don't score, sometimes you concede. And there's a huge game coming up, so it's understandable that Pioli wanted some rotation on the thing. I think this is just one of those matches, is a fluke. It's calcio. It happens every now and then. I don't think you look further into it that there's trouble or anything like that. And just one of those games.
but
Everyone has one of those games.
Not with Torino, because Torino slapped Udinese in Udine, okay? Number one. Number two is Juric style. Juric, when he
Okay,
goes
but
ahead,
Leao also had 2 big chances in the first 10 minutes. If you bury those 2 chances, it would have been a different game.
He didn't do
but
it.
It happened. Okay, but that's what I'm saying. It happens.
All right.
You move on from there. The Champions League is coming. That's what they're focusing on.
One thing I wanted to say before we finish, I know you guys are really enjoying this whole thing here because you said, we're only 4 points. I mean, I know misery loves company, but your day is gonna come. Starting from Saturday or Sunday, you're gonna be facing each other. So Sunday. So hopefully, it's gonna be a tie. AC Milan is gonna win the game. We're gonna restore the lead that we had before, and you're gonna come up with another couple injuries for each team.
The
So
lead you have to worry about in May. That's when you have to worry about the lead. What I was gonna say is, with this Milan team, we see that when Leao is not on his game, Milan struggles. They need him to be able to perform at the highest level. Torino, I think, played a great game tactically, and the approach to the game as far as the physicality was excellent. This is how you have to play this Milan team, because Milan have some physical guys in that midfield also, and you have to be able to take them on head first. So I think this Torino team really, is personified, right? Can you say personified
Words are tough.
by
He's unemployed.
He's DJing. He's partying too much.
That's right. Personified by Juric, right? And the way that he acts. You know? So
I have nothing.
Okay.
Let's
Yeah.
keep going.
Fair enough. Lazio lost 3-1 to Salernitana.
That was crazy.
Wild game. I watched this match. I never thought that when Lazio went up 1-0 that they would have sorry, I got another thought. Just anything about Junior Messia's goal, for me, foul, by the way.
foul.
Oh, thanks for reminding. By the
Sorry,
way,
I
look
just
at you.
I thought about it because I was about to mention
was.
another wrong
Push,
call,
push.
but I didn't.
2 hands.
And you
And it
went
was a
from
big
thinking
mistake.
at first.
And it was a big mistake
Yeah.
originally. So it should have been 2-0.
Anyway, Lazio, I never expected when they went up 1 goal that they would be able to lose to Salernitana. Salernitana showing a lot of fight, a lot of heart from Davide and Nicola's men. I know we keep talking about the big surprises of the season being Napoli, Udinese, Atalanta, but I think Salernitana needs to be mentioned there because when they lost Sabatini in the summer, I'll be honest, I was rooting against them just because I was mad that they fired him and they didn't believe in him. And they really are playing great. They've got the style. They had the courage to play in Lazio and to do that. Couple little things though. Lazio started the match without Milinkovic-Savic because Sarri wanted Savic to not get a yellow card so that he wouldn't miss the derby. Just so happened he ended up subbing him in because he needed him. The guy got a yellow card, which, by the way, I watched it 15 times. I could watch it another 50 times.
Yeah.
That is
No
not
yellow
a yellow card.
Yeah, that was bad.
Ever. I don't know if you
What
saw
can you
the-
do right now? What can you do? Can you just
Nothing.
rescind
No.
it? You can't.
I did not see it, but
show you.
I have mentioned it. I mentioned in the podcast. The Serie A, I would like to know. I think we have 3 times the yellow cards of any other league. Every time there is a foul, it's a yellow card. It's unbelievable. There's too many yellow cards. I've said that before.
Yeah, no.
Well, I'll show him.
For what?
So he lost the ball. He was losing the ball, and he ended up with a follow through. He stepped on.
I don't see anything.
Yeah.
I don't see anything.
He did step on his foot, but for me, he's not meaning to do that in the slightest. He lost the ball.
That's
He
not
put
a
his foot
yellow
out.
card.
It's also I know people are going to argue saying, "Oh, but that call was given in this team." Doesn't matter. Either way, that is not the correct call. And even worse, that we're going to lose such a one of the best players in the league to not play in the derby against Roma.
I'm just surprised being they're up 1-0, they're looking good, and all of a sudden you think they sub out Sarri for this guy right here, and they end up conceding 3 goals. I mean, I just find it a little crazy just because we're talking so highly of Lazio recently and playing all good. There's like, oh, maybe they're doing something. Sarri knows what they're
The
doing.
Sarri
And then all
ball
of a
kicked in. All of a sudden, they got kicked out
Sarri
again.
We were right to fire him.
Listen, this yellow card
next.
is baloney.
You're
The
gonna be
red
next.
card is baloney. Okay, when you give somebody a yellow card and then you give him another yellow card, at the end of the game, ask $10,000. I don't care, but the player has to play. It's a red card unless you're trying to break somebody's leg. It's a red card. The next game, you have to play. Fine him. You know, fine him $100,000, whatever you want to fine him. You'll see that there's not going to be any more yellow cards.
You know what Juric's team would do if that was the case?
Once you
They
start,
will slaughter people.
Juric's team, all Milan would be injured if that was the case. If you gave
No, what do
red
you mean?
cards.
You get a red card, you're out. You're out. I'm saying the next day,
to
the
get
next
suspended.
game, okay, you need to use your team will suffer for that game, but the next game, hey,
It depends,
you
I
gotta-
think.
you
for
gotta
me.
play.
Vecino missed a lot of
Listen,
opportunities.
We
in
are
this match.
the only sport in the world where you get a red card, you get 3 weeks. If you do something to hurt somebody, yes, I agree with it. But if it's 2 yellow
game.
cards and then you get a red card, come
The
on.
yellow cards, I 100% agree.
You know, like this. Let's say he would have gotten another yellow card for sliding into somebody to try to get the ball. You get a red. Now you're missing the next game. Come on.
Yeah.
Change the rule.
I think he did make a mistake in the game to not play Milinkovic-Savic. I know it's easy to look back now. Vecino had opportunities that you have to bury.
Oh my god.
And I think that you start to see
Pedro at the post.
Not to it's easy to say now. I know in retrospect, but for me, Milinkovic-Savic and Immobile, losing both of them
That's
at the
tough.
same time,
That's tough.
it's a little bit too crippling for Lazio. And even the defense, they conceded 5 goals in 11 games. They conceded 3 to Salernitana in this match.
Well, what a goal! Candreva's first goal.
Oh my god. He only
That was
scores
amazing.
bangers, that guy.
Hey,
Amazing goal.
I
And
was
I told him how to shoot like that.
I was very high on the Lazio goalkeeper, but none of his
Provedel.
Provedel did well, though.
No, he
He
didn't.
did well, but
Couldn't do
3
anything.
goals, man. What?
But that has nothing to do.
Yeah,
you
you
have to
can't
see the
blame him.
goals.
Yeah, you gotta see
You
how
have to
it
see the
was.
goals.
Yeah.
I think that nothing. All 3 goals, not his fault.
Yeah, yeah.
The 2-1 happens. The 3rd goal was on the counter attack. Salernitana, they're middle of that table, looking like they could even sneak in and stay up again after a remarkable miracle season. But you were saying Sabatini's out, but I have to say De Santis, Morgan De Santis, is the sporting director there. He's a very, very capable sporting director. I met with him when he was with Roma.
Was this in the was he
He
a
was
referee?
No, Morgan De Santis was the
No, he's a
goalkeeper
keeper.
Goalkeeper,
Roma.
sorry.
for
Yeah.
Roma,
I remember
Napoli,
now, yeah, I remember.
Udinese. So
You met with him.
I met with him when he was with Roma. He
wanted
was
the
with the
job.
Roma Primavera. He was the general manager for the Roma Primavera. He was amazing, and the way that he is, the way that he works is top. So I feel that this Salernitana job was perfect for him, and if he's able to keep this team up again, this is going to be another top sporting director within Italy.
Wow,
Good-
okay.
good shout.
He's gonna make another jump like Marotta from Samp, right? You're saying?
So
Interesting.
you spoke about Roma. Let's talk about them. They just played. Match just ended before we started our podcast. Weird game where Hellas Verona were winning, and Roma looked so out of it. The guy Tammy Abraham, I feel for him. He
No,
He
can't
missed
buy
an
a
open
goal.
net, man.
He missed one of the worst
The
chances of the
post.
season. I mean,
That
he's
was
right in
really
front of the
bad.
net, and he still can't score. Then when Roma do score, when Zaniolo gets a goal, he's right in front. I thought finally, boom, he puts the ball into the back of the net, hits the post. Luckily, Zaniolo was there to clean it up. And then they got on this streak where they were able to score a couple goals. Verona was down a man. Volpato, the 18-year-old from he was born in Australia, but he's Italian. He plays for the U20s
Like
of the
Vieri.
Italian national team, and he scores a goal. He's played 4 games in Serie A. He scored 2 goals, both against Verona, and he had an assist. He gave El Shaarawy, who scored the 3-1. The kid looks good. Kid's got some hunger. He's got some life in him. There's him, Volpato, who came in the second half, and Camara, both of them. I really like what they bring to the midfield of Roma. It's a little bit more creativity. I've been very against the Matic Cristante double pivot oftentimes. Pellegrini is not at his best. Zaniolo, he's got a lot of effort, but still Tammy's not at his best. So I like to see these other players that are new to the team step up and show some life in them.
And Volpato actually came in because of the injury too, so it was a little
chance.
blessing in disguise for him too, to show him what he's worth. We've seen him come a couple times, and he's shown good positive performances.
Yeah, and on the Volpato goal, I mean, we've been always saying about how Matic looks slow and whatever. He took the man on,
Yeah.
sat him down, and found Volpato.
He
on
beat
the
him
top
on the
of
line
box.
over there. I was surprised.
I was very surprised as well, and he got the assist. So just a little credit there. I think this Roma team, the way that they play, they're always upset. They're upset with the world. Every little foul, it's like, what the hell, man? Zaniolo is an animal, but then for every little thing, he's throwing himself. He's upset. He's yelling. They want to fight. They want to wreck. It's like, oh, relax. Play the game. You're killing yourself.
Is it an extension of the coach?
It could be. It could be Mourinho. But then at that point, it's like there's too much nerves, on this field, and you're not going to get the best out of your players. That's how I see it.
Briefly on Roma, they need another great forward, and they need Dybala to play every game.
Yeah.
If you don't get those two, Roma cannot compete at very high level.
Because they don't have a real style at their base,
Yeah.
at their foundation. Without those sort of players, I agree with you. They don't have any build-up. Like, again, I know there's different styles for different coaches and different teams, but Roma is one of those teams that, you see a lot of long balls sent. There's not those transitions that you would expect from a team with the quality. And they also have a lot of big players who are just not performing at this level. They've been much lower quality than they were last year. I still
Who's
believe...
there to blame? Mourinho?
No. For me, I don't blame Mourinho in this sense. I think that there needs to be some responsibility for the team, and they haven't clicked yet. Of course, Mourinho, at the base, he's the one who goes out there and he puts the players on the pitch, and he gives them that style, and maybe that's correct. Kind of like what Inter. Remember we were saying Inter are throwing their hands. They always looked annoyed, and then they make this pact. Maybe Roma needs a little bit of that. I still believe in Tammy Abraham. I see people giving up on him all over. It's tough. It's really tough for him. The guy's lacking in confidence. I don't think he's lacking in skill. I think even his movements, like his check-ins and the way he lays off the ball and opens space for the teammate, he's doing that pretty well. Like that, I see, it's good. But when you don't have confidence, it's like he's just digging the hole deeper and deeper and deeper. But maybe I'm delusional, but I feel like he's going to get out of that.
He beat the keeper he does everything good, but I think he is definitely missing that confidence. As soon as he starts getting a string of goals, I feel like we're going to start seeing the old Tammy soon.
I mean, if Tammy, if you're listening, I would just send a ticket to Marco to come to Roma and interview you and remember what you did in the last derby.
I got him at the end of the season. The beginning of the season, at this point, he still only had 2 goals. He's at 2 right now. So the only difference is the 2 goals. He's getting a lot more chances this time. The chances that he would not.
And
have
also,
missed.
we're criticizing Roma too, but they are actually sitting in 4th place. We're talking about their ugly style. They're not performing the best. Some players injured, whatever the case is. But if they make top 4, I think that's a big win.
Next week, Roma without Dybala, they're gonna have to go up against Lazio without Immobile, without Milinkovic-Savic.
Oh yeah, that's a tough one.
So I don't know how to predict
It's
this
a
one.
soccer game again. It's a soccer game. Let's forget about without this, without that. You said that you don't have 7 or 8 players. This guy here says a game is a game. You've been given a squad with 20 players or 22 players. Those are cards that have been dealt to you.
And you're getting paid.
Just shovel them up on your hands. I don't have. Just play the best cards that you can and win the game.
Just watch my videos. Tell your players to watch my videos so they can.
I feel like that was a shot at me.
No excuses.
I feel like that was a
Go
shot
over
at me.
there.
Now I'm annoyed.
Go over there, play the game. I don't want to hear complaining. I don't want to hear any excuses.
I thought you were in the car business.
I am. Okay. Hey, by the way, to pick up on what we were saying before, Pete, all of those young kids like Volpato and all of that stuff, I wanted to see some of your young kids showing up in Serie A and the big
Antonio.
name.
Yo,
because
Pete, why are you going back on that?
I do wanted to see Pete. He said the new Raiola of Brooklyn. So
Brooklyn,
all right,
of the world.
Of the world. Okay.
Let's talk last thing. Let's conclude. Next week's matches are incredible. I know we didn't talk about Atalanta. They won 2-0 against Empoli. We'll give them a shot right now. Next week, we got Atalanta against Napoli. We've got Roma, Lazio. We've got Juventus, Inter. And for Antonio's sake, we got Milan, Spezia. Unbelievable Saturday and Sunday filled with Serie A and calcio. Going to be a big weekend where a lot of these changes will happen. How do you see Atalanta faring up against Napoli? Atalanta is at home. They're another team that's flying high, and they have this. They won't have Europe. We know Napoli. They're playing against Liverpool, a game that they can't lose by 4 goals, and they'll finish in first place. It still will suck some of the energy out of them.
This will be a little.
This game
I think this will be a little tough one considering the extra days of rest, and also this Atalanta team not the same as last season. I'm saying that because their defense is much better. So if they were leaky as goals like they were the last few seasons, I'd say Napoli, I think, would win this pretty comfortably because they'd be better in attack and their defense is not good.
We'll see how solid their defense is against this Napoli.
But but I think it's gonna be a little bit tougher than we think. I think Napoli is still gonna end up getting the result, but it's not gonna be by 3 or 4.
We know, with all due respect that I have for Gasperini, the Atalanta 3 or 4 years ago, it will have done a job to Napoli, but. I think they can still squeak a tie. They can can get a tie or a miserable win, but I don't see it. I just don't. This year, Napoli of this year, regardless of Liverpool, they have a system that is working for them. So it's not just.
So it's the system or the players, the golden nuggets.
It's the system.
The golden nuggets.
There's a system, and because the players they've been there, they've been plugged. The players have been plugged. So they have all the subs. They have for every sub, for every player, there is a sub that is just as good.
So the team was being created the right way.
Well, they have the players.
What are you trying to do, P?
They have the players. It's not going to work.
He's trying to take your job.
Yeah.
Cosme's trying to take a leg of the
The
job.
players are there. I think Napoli is going to take it.
All right. 3-0 Napoli next.
Wow.
Ooh,
Jesus Christ. I think that this weekend, if Napoli win again against Atalanta, my jaw will be dropped.
Just hand them the Scudetto already.
This is a big opportunity for Atalanta that they're doing really well. They're doing amazing. If they could stop Napoli, they've got everything to play for. They're another team that they're not scared to make things dirty. They're not scared to hurt them. We saw how Napoli struggled with Roma when they did that to them. Yeah. They found a way to win. It was brilliant. I think Atalanta is going to do more of the same.
Who did Atalanta lose to last week?
Atalanta lost to...
Was it Udine? No. Who was it? Who did they play?
They won
They
2
lost to
nothing.
Lazio. I was about to say.
Lazio.
And Lazio ran them to the ground. So,
That's true.
you know,
But
was
they
it a
didn't play.
fluke game?
They literally didn't play.
All right, so we'll see.
Roma Lazio, how do we see it going?
I think Lazio is going to take it for some reasons.
Roma's a home team.
Doesn't
Mourinho.
I don't know.
It's gonna be Mourinho's gonna have that, as you say, a dirty win.
Last year was 3-0 in this game, by the way.
I think Lazio's gonna come through and win. I feel like they have more.
Without Milinkovic-Savic and without Immobile.
Yeah, I think Lazio, when push comes to shoves in the derby, these guys make it like their must win games, and they really die for these games. So I think so.
They lost 3-0 the last time.
Yeah, but the one before that they won 3-0.
This one's Roma at home.
Roma 2-0.
2-0.
Next.
I'd say Lazio 1-0.
1-1. I think it's going to be a tie. Fair from each
1
side.
nothing Lazio.
I don't see Lazio being able to win without Savic and Immobile. Maybe I'm wrong. I would pin, if I was betting, I would do Roma win or tie. I wouldn't put a Lazio.
Instead of focusing on other teams, you should be focusing on your team.
Yeah, against Inter. Listen, I don't have my player, so if something goes wrong this match, I'm telling you right now.
let's see.
How
What do you have?
about the other 10 matches?
What do you have? Juventus
Signor
Inter. Juventus
Andrea
Inter.
Agnelli.
Just give me your prediction, Marcello. What is it?
Am I giving you the prediction as Marcello Lippi or as Gaetano Messina?
Both.
So if I'm Marcello Lippi, Juventus is going to win 2-1. Gaetano Messina, Inter is going to win 2-1.
Oh my God. So it's 0-0.
So with
You do the math.
3-3 really, but
Okay, so Pete, what are you saying?
what about Juve Inter?
Yeah.
prediction.
It was Juventus Inter, right?
Yeah.
Juventus Inter.
So I actually saw somebody from Tancredi Palmieri, right? He mentioned something on Twitter where there's the De Boer effect, that even when the team is not necessarily playing great, when it comes to these big games, they always show up and perform. So I think Juventus is not going to be this team that Inter's going to be able to steamroll just because we're on a high and Juventus on a low.
What does that mean? I didn't understand what you were saying.
So cut it short. It's 0-0, 1-0. What is it?
Who shows up? Juventus.
I think Juventus shows up.
They didn't show up the last time. Both of you guys' arguments were terrible. The last game, both of these games, Inter won in Torino, Juventus Torino, and Roma won, Roma Lazio.
Okay, but what am I? I was saying that even though that Juventus is not playing great, they're gonna be there to perform. I didn't say that Juventus was gonna win.
So what is it? 0-0, 1-1?
2-1 Inter.
Okay.
Oh, okay. After all that, I expected Juventus is gonna win. You said that they always show
You're
up.
so full of hot hair, Pete. I think.
I wish I had hot hair. Like hot hair, like
I
Antonio
think it's
Cassano.
gonna be a 1-0 Juventus. Unfortunately,
You're crazy.
Really? I think Inter are going to win 3-1. I think it's going to be pretty straightforward.
I almost said 3-0.
Juve,
Me.
you were playing with
3-0 Inter. This is what I'm paying you for. Oh my God! I gotta see you outside.
That was good.
Oh my God!
That's what I'm saying.
So you're not giving Juventus a chance?
I have no players.
No brain either.
There's a lot of things that are missing, but not my wallet. That I got. That,
And he
thank
still
you.
doesn't pay for his girlfriend's
Yeah,
rent.
just fire me. Just fire me. I'm gonna keep my money and I'm
Listen,
gonna watch from home.
Why don't you do this? You call a press conference, you make believe that you are unhappy and you quit your job. So that way we'll negotiate the salary. I'll give you $3.5 million for you to get the hell out of my side, and we'll leave it at that.
$7 million a year.
No. You only
You
take
think he's
half
stu-
of it.
he's not that stupid.
You take half and then you fire yourself. I'm not gonna be firing
It's
you.
all right. I'm gonna lose 3-0 this week, and you're gonna fire me either way.
I'm then you're going to hire him 5 years later.
All right, guys.
Cassano is having fun over here, isn't it?
I'm the best player in
So
the world. The
first time
time.
Cassano's been relevant in a long time, so he's happy to be here. Guys, thank you for watching our Halloween episode. We'll get one last, guys, make a vote. We do the voting every year on who's going to win. The last year, I'll remind you, Mike dressed up as Juan Donata. He was in a full dress, and he still didn't win.
Lost.
He's pulling out everything to try to win this year. We've got Andrea Agnelli as Antonio Cinque Palmi, the unibrow and everything. Mike as Antonio Cassano with the Nutella jar. That's pretty good. Me as Andrea Agnelli. I am as Max Allegri.
You wish you were him.
I wish I had the money that he has. Soon I'm going to steal it all from him, so it'll be fine. Gaetano as Marcello Lippi. It fits you a little bit too well, this role.
He looks like him too much.
That's it. Now
Lift the cup. Lift the
now
cup.
it's Marcello
Look at the
Lippi.
cup and look at it. Just like the.
All the blinks.
I don't not only win all the cups, Intercontinental, Champions League, World Cup, I develop players. Pippo Inzaghi, good coach. Pirlo, good coach. Rino Gattuso. He coaches like me, very intelligent. He's a very good coach.
There you go. Where are they now? Where's Inzaghi got to?
Does Allegri a coach like you?
Allegri is a good coach. He's from Tuscany.
Mm.
We are
Paisani.
Yeah. He's a very good coach. Who's the best coach in Italy? Ancelotti and Allegri. Those are the two best coaches.
Wow.
Okay?
The only problem
Don't
that
go too far from
Ancelotti
there.
is not coaching in Italy, Marcello. What have you been drinking lately?
No, Italian coaches.
Oh, Italian coaches. Okay.
And then we got Peter as Cosme. This is another. We're just getting like a Peter from in the next like 30 years. This is how Peter's gonna look.
If you guys have a job like a dishwasher for Cosme, let him know.
Can I just
And
say
we'll
one
get
more
him
thing?
get him
Peter
job.
did not have to get dressed for this.
It's true.
He literally
That's how
came
he
dressed
looks.
exactly how he is right now, but he put
and the
beard.
voice. Come on, the
No,
voice.
he has
I'm
grace.
just saying your
'cause
outfit, just
my
for
outfit,
context.
he has grace because he was watching Inter play. That's why. So that's all natural
But
too.
for context, he literally
And to
showed
finish,
up
my
like
makeup is courtesy of Peter's girlfriend.
You can say it. You can say it.
Courtesy of Peter's girlfriend, one of the best of here on the podcast. Why don't you come and say hello? Come over here. Come here.
that. She used the Sharpie on.
Come.
You know that's not gonna wash off, right?
Oh my God.
I made her put a Sharpie on you.
She's
On
the
your
best.
Look at the smile.
Where are you going?
Dude, you're not on camera.
Makeup artist, stay here.
Say hello.
Annalisa over here is the makeup artist of IFTV. All right, say hi. Annalisa.
Thank you.
Hi, Annalisa.
All right.
I'm gonna put you on the spot. Which one is your team? Serie A team.
Oh,
AC Milan.
Oh, I plead the fifth.
that means it's not either. All right, everybody. Thank you for watching. We'll talk to you soon. Shout out.
Ciao, guys.